So let's look at the old city of Jerusalem real quick. This is a archaeology made out of stone, long before the word existed, long before the concept really existed. The roads go through the buildings. All of the buildings are sharing walls. The rooftops are basically all utilized. Not completely, but a lot of them. It could be a little bit better, but it's a start. And then if you go right over here, this is your modern construction, built around the automobile, built around the road. And it's less dense, it's gross. Yeah, it has greenery, but where's the humanity? It's all built around the car. Do you see how it's all built around the car? You have, on all of the rooftops are isolated rooftops, not isolated rooftops. This is built around the human. This is a very human way of building. And it just shows that the concept of archaeology goes all the way back to Old Jerusalem. Here's the inside of Old Jerusalem. This is like a tunnel. You can see the electric lines on the roof, the ceiling, just like archaeology would. The roads would be twice as wide though, roughly twice as wide, 16 feet according to my estimations. But look at this mall. The road's not wide enough, but it is an interesting mall, isn't it? And then this is outdoors near the Temple Mount. You can see that it really does look like a rectangular stone archaeology, doesn't it? Very fascinating. And this is hundreds and hundreds of years old. So this is the marketplace of Old Jerusalem. And notice how human it is compared to car culture, compared to the United States. Very, very different. Once again, archaeology would have roads that are about twice as wide. There would be doors. We would have much more locked doors and things of that nature. And there would be like residents. There would be schools. There would be bars. There would be barber shops. It wouldn't necessarily all be retail. Here's another section. Like, there's a lot of retail here. I don't know why there's so many retail shops. But archaeology would have a bit of everything, and it would have doors. More like this. See how this actually locks? That would be that would be a little more common in archaeology, I would imagine. Although, if the crime is basically nothing, why would you need locked doors? Because the poverty in archaeology is so low that you would probably have very few thieves. It would be very rare to have shoplifting. And I think shoplifting is 1 month jail time, so that's pretty steep for your first time shoplifting. But these have some doors that close at the end of the day. And we would be semi-corporate in archaeology, so you're talking about like a Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, grocery stores. So it would be kind of a hybrid of corporate America with this type of foot traffic and this type of transportation infrastructure. It would be very, very interesting, honestly. The goal is to get the best of both worlds. Here's some food. This looks like some kind of like pancakes. A little restaurant. Here's another restaurant right here. See? Cafeteria, restaurant. So this is, once again, the road is, I can't stress this enough, the road in archaeology will be twice as wide. Maybe even 3 times wider. And, yeah. But, pretty interesting. So different than car culture. Here, we're just gonna compare that view to car culture over here. This is modernity. So the question is, can you tell the difference? Which one is more human? And which one is like cold and unfeeling? Can you see a difference here? It's amazing, isn't it? And they're so close to each other too. So arcology is attempting to get the best of both worlds from these two worlds, from these two lifestyles, from these two forms of infrastructure. That's the goal, is a synthesis of both. So I have a big surprise in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! This is what I've been working on, is a hexagram arcology for Jerusalem. And this is about as close as I could get it to the Mount of Olives and the Temple Mount in Old Jerusalem without knocking down a lot of neighborhoods. And if you wanted to knock down a bunch of neighborhoods, then you can get it much closer. But I was looking for empty land where you could just plop it down without... You have to destroy some buildings, but not many. And it straddles these two highways, as you can see, and the highways could just go under go under the arcology. And if you zoom in, it's looking to be pretty good so far. Excuse the frame rate, I have my older GPU in here because my newer one was blue screening. My older one blue screened too, but whatever. So this is what we have so far. And we will be propagating the rooftop with greenery as usual. And boy, is it gorgeous. I love it already. One problem is that you can't quite see the Mount of Olives or Old Jerusalem or the Temple Mount because the mount is in the way. This hill is 450 feet tall. So just to match the top of the hill, you need a 45-story arcology, which is very frustrating. And the solution to that would be to build on this hill, but in order to build on the Mount of Olives, you would have to knock down, like, basically a whole neighborhood. So if you wanted to build over here and see Old Jerusalem, you'd have to like knock down a few neighborhoods. You could knock down this neighborhood if you wanted. So really your options are either build it off to the side over here or knock down a neighborhood. And if this is 2,000 years of biblical history manifest in this one structure, or 2,000 years of biblical prophecy manifest in one structure, then maybe it is worth destroying this this neighborhood. Just maybe. That's a question everyone's gonna have to struggle with. So to recap, the point of the video is to just meditate on the beauty of the fact that the Old Jerusalem is an arcology made out of rectangles and stone, and the New Jerusalem is an arcology made out of hexagons and steel. Really, really fascinating. 2,000 years apart. The prophecies are all coming true.